Hello, good morning. Welcome to Mark and Amber's Adventures. I'm Amber.
And I'm Mark. Good morning, fellow campers.
Got your coffee?
I have my coffee.
Join us for coffee this morning. So, we thought we would discuss some of the troubleshooting and issues and problems that you might encounter. And of course, you only have so much space and you can't. And it's very hard to, every practicality and problems and issues that might come up, and you've only got so much space to do things. So, some of the problems that we've encountered this winter, we went to a campground overnight, and we were looking into our different camping options. You can get memberships in private clubs and then zones, and it was very complicated.
It was a destination campground.
Is that what it was called? I don't remember all the terms and what have you.
People generally live there in season.
Yeah, they seem to move in and then move throughout the
and the decks on them and all that crap.
Yeah, so it was it was a private campground campground system. It was also part of Passport America or something like that.
I don't know. They were affiliated with a couple of other networks.
And we decided to join up for Sam's Club through
Good Sam.
Yeah, which gave us our Passport America, and you get discounts and.
Yep.
Why don't you explain some of that?
So far.
Well, we've gotten discounts in almost all the campgrounds that we went to. There was at least 3 of them that we went to that had the Good Sam discount.
We stayed at 2.
Hmm.
Actually, it'd probably be about $7 worth of savings.
We did find we seem to prefer, or at least I prefer, the state parks. The state parks seem to be really nice. The amenities seem to be nice, and usually the settings are really good. What about you? Have you found a preference?
Well, obviously the private campgrounds have more amenities.
Yeah, that's
such
true.
As laundry, such as a shower or ice.
Yeah, we haven't had any so far. We haven't gone to any states that had laundry facilities, but they had restrooms or outhouses and electric and
or
sewer
houses.
Yeah, well, there was that too. Anyways, but troubleshooting.
It would be nice to have a discount if they can't provide the services.
That would be nice.
Paying for in the first place.
That would be nice.
Because even a lot of the private campgrounds, they don't have stuff open, all their stuff, if you're out of season. But they're charging, a lot of them charge a cheaper price.
Yeah, we did find that the off-season prices were varying different. And some of the private
stage right now.
And some of the private campgrounds and stuff like that might not have as many spaces available during the winter as they would during the summer or the winter season. But anyway, so we went this winter overnight to hear the sales pitch from this and kind of give a first overnight attempt with the RV and everything. Yeah, dry run. Check it out. Things that we might need. Just basic trying to live in a space and what's going to come up and how we can address that. And we went and hooked up. And fortunately, I was in the little girl's room. And I heard lots of water gushing against the wall. And I opened up a cabinet and, there was water gushing all through the cabinet. So, fortunately, I was able to grab one of those little containers and put that in there and say, hey, turn off the water. And he turned off the water and we investigated and cleaned up and all that. And what is it? The water housing?
Filter housing.
The water filter housing had cracked all around the threaded ring. As we've since learned, if you do have such things, it's good to remove all the water through the system, which is what we had done. But we hadn't unscrewed the water housing and brought it inside. I guess
just emptied it would have been sufficient.
Well, it was emptied.
Yeah, guess so. It broke.
But no, just the expansion of the cold and the warm and the cold and the warm, it just cracks and weakens the plastic. So we ran to the hardware store, which fortunately was just around the corner.
And we got a new filter because it's basically a house filter, something you put under your sink or whatever, and replaced that.
But when we got that and replaced it, here again, we're at the campground. The water line connection hoses weren't the right size, so we weren't able to use that. But fortunately, and you've got to plan for situations where, if your RV stuff that function in your RV, and like if you need heat or refrigeration or water, what are you going to do as an alternate source if that fails? So fortunately we had gallons of water. We haven't filled up the inside tank yet. We've just basically relied on shipped in water or hookups. So we weren't able to hook up that, but he got home and he fixed that up.
Another thing I did when I replaced that, I had 1/4-inch lines going in and out of it, the main trunk line, and the camper's 1/2 inch, so I upgraded that to 1/2 inch so there's not a restriction right off the bat coming in. As I'm sure you all know, water pressure in a camper sucks.
And you do need to make sure you have your water pressure regulator hooked up to your hose line so that wherever you're getting your water from doesn't blow out through your lines or anything. And when you're stopping and refilling up everything, make sure everything's tightened up. So, one of the other issues that we had turned out, while we were very cozy and warm and had that all way under control, pulling out this time, we were stopped in middle of the plains and wind is howling through. We had to turn on the furnace. Well, there was a problem.
It didn't turn on?
Nope, didn't turn on.
Didn't do anything. Didn't click. Didn't smoke. Didn't blow up. Didn't do anything. It still doesn't do anything.
Yes, it still doesn't do anything. But some of the things that we have done to troubleshoot that, we checked fuses, checked breakers, checked propane lines. We did stop along the way and got at a Harbor Freight and got a quick test light, because we didn't have one in emergency toolbox.
Test light is a good thing to have in your basic repertoire for anything 12 volt. That way at least you can see if you're getting juice somewhere or not.
Yeah, because
so you can narrow down the problem with just a $5 test light.
Yeah. So all your 12 volt is on a fuse, and if your fuse goes, you can test both, your fuse, make sure it's working properly. You can test to make sure whatever appliance it might be is getting juice through it or what have you.
So I think I might have to pull that unit when we get back to see. Because it's inaccessible, all the electric stuff's on the side, and you can't, it's only a half, so you can't test anything. So we'll have to see about that when I get back. Maybe do a little searching with the make and model so we can get away from the generalized comments from Google warriors.
However, we did have a backup, so which came in handy. It didn't really work for boondocking. It would if we'd hooked up to the generator, but we didn't do that at any time. We had just a little space heater, which this is a very small area and worked very nicely.
Yeah, it's not like it was, 20 below.
Yeah. But, if you're in a situation where you have no other options, and it's good to make sure you have some backup for, alternative methods of heating or cooling your foods or whatever it is you might be RVing with.
So the last thing we ran into was before we cut out, I replaced the bathroom fan. It had one of those little cheap 4-inch fans in there that they give you that aren't worth a crap. Camping World had a Max fan on sale, and nice fan. We installed it, and that went together without any issues, although I replaced the original, so being careful to get the putty off of the rubber roof and stuff took some time. And I think we're about 10 days out, and the fan just failed. And I took the test light, and we're getting juice to it, so obviously it's the fan. So I called them up, and they said they'd swap it out, but still, that's a pain. There was $100 on sale for the fan, plus the putty.
Yeah, we have things
plus running to Camping World, and it's not a 5-minute job, so I'm not real happy about that. And and I'm questioning the quality of parts. I don't mind spending $100 for something, but it shouldn't fail in a week. And of course, there'll be no compensation for the labor, or the fuel, and the putty to do the job a second time.
Yeah, it's not like you just set it in there and pull it back out. You've got to reseal it and all the intricate.
And hope that one lasts more than a week.
Before you do it again, yeah. So that's a little annoying.
Yeah, I might explore.
However, we did talk to Camping World, and they said you can go to any one and replace it. If you're up on the mountain with all the tools to do that.
Yeah, which I'm not going to attempt on the road. That's just ridiculous doing anything major like pulling out the furnace or replacing a skylight with very minimal tools that you could hold in one hand. Your minimal tools are going to be pliers, a screwdriver, stuff like that. There's no tool chest in my camper. I don't know about yours.
And we are kind of avoiding having to go to a service repair guy.
No, that's not going to happen. What we're avoiding is having somebody else do it, period, because, that kind of defeats the point of your trip anyway. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't want to camp out at an RV repair place.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do that. They don't want to, they either don't know how or don't want to screw with something. Maybe the systems are complex. But, I can pretty much deal with anything in here, but not on the road. So, backups.
Checking all your systems before you before you leave.
Yeah, even that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because we found out.
Yeah, because driving down. Yeah, because everything was tested before we left. But driving down the road, the rattling, shaking, wind, whatever, can make things happen. Acts of God.
Acts of highway repairs or lack thereof. That's something we should do a review on. Some states have better roads than others. You can see where they put their money.
Yeah.
Or not.
This is rolling uncut too, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse us. Right now we're just doing the cell phone. We have no Wi-Fi service whatsoever, so. Well, anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, that's all we've run across. Which I guess isn't too bad.
If anybody had any suggestions.
Oh, might mention those LED bulbs blowing up. The $15 bulbs that blow up instantly. So we replaced all the high intensity bulbs with LEDs. And they run what, 12, 15 bucks a piece? So brand new.
Yeah, a pack of it was like $100.
So Amber turned the lights off and walked out, and a minute later I walked in and I just caught a whiff of something electrical burning. And one light was on, but it's got the two sides to it and only one side was on. I'm thinking, hold on, we just replaced the bulbs. So I popped the cover off, and the LED looked like a hand grenade hit it. It just was in pieces, and I took it out, and it was about 1,000 degrees, so I got, burned. And of course, this thing had less than an hour's burning time on it. Now, far be it for me to make any comments where this stuff is made. However, I hope our current administration can fix that problem so I have less aggravation in my life, spending a lot of money on stuff that breaks instantly. That's all I have to say about that.
We do have a, what is that? It's called a surge protector or a surge meter guard, whatever.
It's just a meter. Measures the voltage.
Measures the voltage that we get through the line so that you don't go over or under.
Of course, our stuff that we have issues with electrically are 12 volt. That's
yes.
What she's talking about is the 120 volt AC side of the house. Totally different. So, again, that's probably all we've run into, at least for this trip. And I guess that's not too bad. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the future and more adventures.
Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.